Thank you for tuning in with us every Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. About our host, Carlotta Taylor is not just a survivor of child abuse, but has grown into what we come to know as our personal thriver against all odds, who no longer flinches at adversity, but overcomes with authority. Carlotta decided to find the courage to say yes to herself. Miss Taylor has piece by piece faced her biggest adversary, the brokenness, and healed not only herself, but has also affected thousands through her outreach and influence. Carlotta Taylor is the author of the best-selling book, No More Flinching. Getting to the heart of the matter has always been what Carlotta is about. To keep in touch, text Carlotta to 888-111. It's time for the show to begin. It wouldn't be the same without you, because this is the place people bond worldwide, sharing powerful stories, prevailing over adversity. The heart of the matter is the people's joy. Now, turn your attention to our host, Carlotta Taylor, as the show begins.
Welcome to the Heart of the Matter show. I am so excited about today's episode. I told my guests, I said, look, I got that big old Eddie Murphy smile for this one, okay? Listen, you know, anytime that you get ready to do something great and awesome, there's always challenges. And when I tell you, we were trying to get this technology to work at the last minute, I said, it's got to happen. And guess what? We are here. So thank you for tuning in live with us. Go ahead and share. Hello to everyone. If you're tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, thank you for tuning in. This is going to be an incredible story. We have an incredible guest. Her name is the Archus Curry, also known as Hit Girl. And look, she has a fabulous story. And without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and bring our guest up so we can get right to the heart of the matter. Hello, D. Archus. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Let's go ahead and jump right into it because we're already about a few minutes behind schedule. So what does getting to the heart of the matter mean to you?
Faith. Faith in one word, faith.
Oh, faith.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, one line, one word.
That's it. It's faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. Wow. Yeah. Just take that in for a moment. Faith. Mm-hmm. Now, that's the first time anyone has ever answered that question with one word, and I love it. All right. So take us back. Rewind the hands of time. I love to go back with the Heart of the Matter show because childhood development is so essential. It's key. Some people have awesome upbringings and some not so much, like myself, okay? Take us back to little Hit Girl. Was you Hit Girl back then or was you Hit Girl as you got older in life? Take us back and tell us how little the Archus grew up. We want to know.
Hit Girl definitely came later in life, but it was maybe footprints that led up to who I am today. Music was all I raised around my family, so it just was inevitable, I guess, for me to get to music.
So, inevitable. So, how was it like growing up when you were in school? Any fun memories? Any challenges? Any adversities you ever had to face in your youth? Tell us about that.
Well, for me, I traveled a lot because my dad was a minister of music. So I lived in 3 different states, went to 3 different high schools. Middle school was difficult because I always felt like I was different or I was missing something or I need to do something else. I played saxophone and then was first chair all through middle school. I moved to a whole nother state and made first chair, chose to be a freshman, like not to do first chair. And then realized that's not what I wanted to do. So I gravitated to basketball in high school. I didn't come back to drama until college. So that's how that happened.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So very musical. Mm-hmm. Everybody in the family got an instrument just about or some type of musical, essence about themselves. Right?
Definitely. Music, see, in my family, it's crazy because music is on both sides. My mom's side has all the guitar players and singers and all that stuff. My dad has all the singers and guitar players, drummers, bass players, trumpet players, trombone players. So it's everywhere, literally. They have groups on both sides to where both of them are musically inclined. They sing as well. On both sides. It's very heavy. So, that's how it is in my family.
I love it. Actually, my father, he is actually a music producer, and he plays every string, almost every instrument.
Oh
Gee,
wow.
how y'all do
Hmm.
that? Like,
Hmm.
pick it up and just start going at it.
Yeah,
Really,
that's the goal for me though. That's the goal for me. Yeah.
that's the goal. You want to play every instrument too?
Every instrument, just be able to understand the knowledge, have a knowledge of each instrument, so that I can produce and for other artists and for myself. That's the goal. So,
Right. So you are musically inclined, but did you ever have any adversities with music at all, or did it just come just that easy for you?
um, honestly, it wasn't. It was natural. The adversity that I had was outside of the gift. Was like me being a woman.
No.
Like I've had to change my appearance and change my clothing and my weight from the start of my career to now. Because initially, people were only looking at you because you're a woman. That's the first thing they see, you're a woman, right? I
Yeah.
never wanted to be a woman that played drums ever. I always wanted to be, if you put a record on and you heard a drummer, you'd be like, oh, that guy's killing. I wanted that because all the guys were working. You only knew Sheila E. You only knew Cheryl Harper. You didn't know it. You knew all the guys. So I wanted to do that. So that was my mentality initially going into trying to be a drummer. Had to
Gotcha.
be like the guy. So the harder thing was even in churches, you would have deacons and pastors that will look at you, give you certain looks when you wear skirts. I had to change my appearance quickly. I wear a pencil skirt, but sitting up, when I sit up, it draws up. So having people just staring at you and just looking at you in that way, you just know it's like, come on, you don't know if it's the gift at that time for me. So it took a long time for me to even get comfortable with myself
Mm.
so that I can give a gift that people say they see, that it lights them up. And I can't see on the other side of myself. I don't see what you guys see, but I have to live it. So I have to be comfortable enough at least to provide the gift.
Yes.
So that's
So,
the most adversity is mostly as being a woman was
wow.
it was very challenging.
Girl, I'm feeling you in so many ways right now because that is so awesome. You just said it. Being a woman is challenging, especially when you have a goal, you have a career, and you're walking in that light and you're being judged just based because you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I know what that's like with a background in law enforcement. I know you can imagine
Oh
the
man,
judgment that comes along with that. But I'm so glad
definitely.
that you overcame those struggles. So I also read in your bio where you talked about, you didn't want to be a drummer, a female drummer, and
Mm-hmm.
in the church it really wasn't accepted. Talk to us about that.
Well, when I started, like I said, music was all in my family, so I guess I was naturally gifted at it. But it was an opportunity where I can get up. I say the drummer didn't show up, so hey, let me get up there and let me play. And I got up there and I sat down, and he's like, wait, what are you doing? I said, I'm about to play. No, women don't do that. They don't play drums. So that was my first no. That was my first like, oh, okay, so the women don't do this. So in my mind, like I'm not even thinking about drums no more. Like I'm 7 years old. I didn't pick up sticks later until like high school after that, like seriously, like later. So it's like it's not for me in that way.
He pretty much shut you down, right?
Yeah. Like
Let
oh
you,
women don't do that. Like yeah, women cook, they clean, they don't play drums. They don't do that. And you just know way you can be successful in that. So don't even attempt to do that.
and I feel you. I don't judge you for wanting to say, you know what, forget it. Let me step back. Let me get in my lane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you shut it down before, but later in life you find yourself back at it again. So how did that happen?
The first time I shut it down, how it got back into my life, honestly, it's the first time someone's asking me this. My dad, we moved, this is the third time we moved. We moved to Michigan. At that time, he was a pastor at Superintendent Wales Church, Kojic Church. We were Kojic growing up. It's our denomination. So he was a minister of music there. If you know Twinkie Clark Code, or it was, excuse me, Twinkie Clark. Sorry about that. You know Twinkie Clark, right? Like the Clark says, yes. So she was administrative music there. My dad was minister music, so you can imagine every Sunday it was lit. Twinkie and my daddy every Sunday, like it was just lit every Sunday. So I'm just getting the vibe of music. That's when I kind of played, it was a friend of mine named Ron Allen. He's very famous now. He's a great friend of mine. But he grew up in the church with me as well. And that's the first person I saw in church that kind of caught my eye and playing. Like, okay, cool. So I'm watching him, and he was in the church. So it's him, Twinkie, and my dad teaching the choir. It's just my whole high school was 2.5 years of my high school career. So that kind of started me the first time to go. But again, I didn't give it any attention. The only time I played drums was when I went to church. If the drummer didn't show, which was never, and rehearsals, so I would get on the bongos. And I didn't play drums at all in high school, like at all.
Wow.
So that's how that happened.
You didn't play at all, man. What an amazing rollout.
Yeah.
And you got back into it, but then you went to school, college at Tougaloo College, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, I would say I visited that college for a little minute because I was there for one semester, and that was the end of that. Have a lot of people who graduated from Tougaloo College.
Mm-hmm.
And you were there on a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So you were athletic as well. Talk to us about that.
So like I said, high school wasn't was not music for me. It was sports. I gravitated to sports. I played basketball and soccer, and I was ranked in the state in both. So when I moved, I had to kind of start over. And so I went and walked on at Tougaloo. Made the team, got a partial scholarship, and so the next season I would have had the full ride, which is the season I got the news about going on tour, playing for Archus. So I get a call, and oh, that's later on. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. But I'm in Tougaloo, and that's how that happened. No drums at all. The only thing I was doing on Sundays, I was playing at this church called Fair Street, and it was very it's a Baptist church, so it's not much effort. You know, I'm just enough to make money so I can feed myself at college. So it wasn't, much intellect as far as growing my musical knowledge. Yeah, it was just getting money for school.
Yeah.
So that, and then my dad had got a church playing. He was a minister of music at Christ Tabernacle. This is when we moved back here, my senior year. And then after that, I had started playing at his church, playing drums there. So this is like after T-Pain. So we'll get to that. So.
Hold on, you name dropped. You said see who?
Oh, T-Pain. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you're in college,
Mm-hmm.
and you get the call.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get the call? Let's talk about that. How did that come about?
Well, there's this church in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. It's called Exodus. Exodus is the known church for the sheds, for whatever. So we had a shed, and my whole family came. Everybody was there. Tim Gray was there. Everybody was there, right? And so my cousin's like, "Hey, get on the drums." I was like, "Huh." So I got on drums and played. My other cousin videoed it. Okay. Later, it was on YouTube. So back then, that's like 11 years ago. So later, that's like I had 147,000 views back then.
Whoa.
So mentally, it's like that was a lot.
That's huge.
That's what happened. So I'm not even thinking about that, right? My brother calls me. He says, "Hey, Aaron Spears just emailed me. He just messaged me." I'm like, "Okay, stop playing." He said, "For real, it's a real job. It's a real job. Comes to the house. Reply." I was like, "Man, that's fake. I'm not even gonna reply." It took me 7 days to even reply. I took my time. I'm like, people scam. It was no arrogant, but people scam.
I feel you on that.
So I wasn't finna be like, "Oh yeah, let me go." I didn't know if it was real or not. Well, once I replied, and then I got on. The managers called, and Gerald Heyward called, which is someone I would mention later, who boosted and started my career. Aaron and Gerald started my career, and my brother, they started my career. So that's how I got to that part. So once I applied, they said, "Hey, you're going to get paid this." And I said, "Oh, well, you're in school to get paid. So what's the point of me, continuing? Let me see what this opportunity brings." Exactly. I go to my professors. I say, "I'm going to take my exams early." I was a biology major. I say, "Hey, I'm going to take my exams early." Took them out early. Went and talked to my basketball coach. I said, "Hey, I have this opportunity to go and further my career. I don't know. I never thought drums would be a career at all. I mean, it was just like, get by, but let me just see what happens.
There. Right.
And he's like, well, is this a vacation or are you coming back? You're starting next season. What are you doing? Like, are you going to be back in 2 weeks or like a week, 3 days? Like, I couldn't honestly answer him because my heart at that time was in basketball because that's something that I worked hard to go to and I wanted to do that for my life,
Yeah.
And God was like, go that way. So
I plan for you over here.
He had something else over for me over there. So I went, and I didn't look back. I've been playing drums ever since.
Before we go any further,
Mm-hmm.
let's just break that down because first of all, that is saying a lot. When I hear the term "take the leap," when I hear the term "do it scared," it reminds me that's the position you were in at that moment. So if you can remember, how did you feel? Like, I know you went for it, but what gave you the courage? Because this is going to help somebody today to go for your dreams today, no matter what it looks like. Archus had a scholarship. She was a starter in college, and she walked away to pursue a dream, and she didn't know the path or where it was going to lead. How did you make that decision?
The best way I can say that it felt natural. It didn't feel forced. It felt like if I went that route, God was gonna be with me. Because for me, I didn't know him in that way until I played drums.
Wow.
So I only knew him in God, I'm gonna win this basketball game, woo. You know what I'm saying? But, I was always a loving person, that people, this is just randomly, but just, I love people. I've heard I've been flirtatious, but I love people. I love to love people. I see the good in people, Yeah. So that's where we at. So just continue on. Go ahead.
Okay.
Continue on.
Oh, you want to continue on? Oh, yeah.
You continue on.
First you were that old shy girl. Now you done got comfortable. The Archus is hit girl right now. You in your zone right now. I love you. Okay, listen. I'm just excited. Your story is so amazing. And listen, people who are tuning in, hearing this incredible story, oh my gosh, you get to be here and experience this story untold before. She's going to levels, questions she's never answered before, and just share it. Somebody else needs to hear this because this is going to help somebody make a decision that they've been battling with. I know what that's like, right?
Sure.
Not knowing if it can happen for you, but it gets better. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere now. Don't. You don't want to pop in and out on this. You want to stay. We got like a little treat for you coming up. All right.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, boom, got the call. You made the leap. You did it scared. You went out there, and now you're playing as a professional drummer, professional female. Excuse me. A professional badass drummer. Okay, killing it. I'm a fan. Okay, so
bless you.
How did that feel? I mean, how does it feel to just go from here to there?
I never thought about that. It just felt like I was just placing from one place to another because I guess I was so used to moving. I was so used to, I moved 3-4 times from middle school, went to 3 different high schools. So I guess adjusting wasn't that difficult to something new. So.
I love it. So now, without further ado, thank you all for staying on. I see they're coming back in. Come over here, continue to share. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just popping in, listen, we are getting the amazing story of Archus Curry, also known as Hit Girl on IG. And
Hit Girl 22. Gotta add them 2 twos at the end.
2. I'm gonna make sure
you gotta put the 2 twos in.
So you all can follow her, show her some love and support. We're going to get into some other things that she does in just a moment. But just for a quick second, I want to turn your attention to a little clip. It's less than a minute, but I want you to watch it and just catch the vibes, okay? Oh my gosh. What an amazing performance. So classy. I love Janelle Monae. So now let's talk about how did that happen? How did you get hooked up with Janelle Monae?
If I may, um, around 2018, my brother, my oldest brother, the one who taught me drums, had a brain aneurysm. So this is like my best friend, my ex boom coon. You know, like we talk to each other every day, 4 or 5 times a day. And I get a call that he has a brain aneurysm, and I'm in Atlanta, and he's in Mississippi. So I got to figure out how to drive mentally okay to get to my brother who's not mentally okay. Anyway, so the way that I could process that was hey, I can't see you like this. Let me take on your gigs for you. Let me see what I can do to keep your jobs for you. So at the time, his main gig was Keith Sweat. So I was playing with Keith. So I called the manager. I said, hey, my brother, something, this happened. And is it possible for me to fill in for my brother so that I, keep his job to where he comes back? So they were kind enough to let me come on because the road manager was the same road manager with T-Pain. So he said, yeah, for sure. So I go up there and no rehearsals. We had a whole tour, 3 months lined up of runs, right? No rehearsals, right? Had to go in there. 1, 2, 3, so you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know the artist. You don't know how the artist is, you know what I'm saying? So
Amazing.
While that happened, at the end of the run, people were like, yeah, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. I was still doing stuff around town, playing for B-list artists when I was in town, and playing for churches. I was still doing things, teaching. So I got a call from this guy named Mike Phillips. Mike calls me. He says, hey, he basically says, hey, you want interested in playing for Janelle Monae? And I was in Washington. I will never forget this. I was in Washington, and I was actually just walking around and looking at the water, just chilling. Like it was just a cool, calm day type of day. It was like it was nighttime. I got to my room, the nicest room, like a loft type of room. And it's a weird time. It's like 12 o'clock. I'm like, I'm just up. He calls me, yeah, would you be interested?
At 12 a.m.
Yeah. I said, yeah.
Business decisions are made around that time of day, by the way.
I guess so.
Yes.
And it was, right? It was. Because I said, yeah. I was like, yes. Yeah. And in my mind, I hadn't had enough conversation with this person for it. It's like, and when you're in this industry, people hit up the homies. They'd be like, it don't really matter how you sound. It's like, oh, let me hit up the homie. And so that's how I knew it was a blessing because it was really about my talent for the first time. It wasn't about, pain was the first time. This was the second time. It wasn't about how I looked. It wasn't about what I was wearing or the pencil skirt. They called me because, oh, wow, it's how you sound.
Yes.
But now we hear that first. But now we see that first instead of, boobs and breasts and thighs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the woman stuff. Which is what I am. Of course, that's what I am. However, I'm that in other things. So I don't want you to look past, me and look at also my attributes. Like this, what I'm a part of. Drums are me. Like, So yeah, that's it.
Man, so amazing, and I just love the fact. Like, what prompted you to even want to say, "Why don't I fill in for you?" That's not just talking and saying, "Oh, I'm praying for my brother," and my heart goes out to you and your family. I know that was a difficult time. I don't even know what that's like, but my heart goes out to you all. But you all stuck together and you made it through, and I'm so happy that your brother healed and all of that. But what even gave you the thought to say, let me step in for you so you won't lose your position or lose anything, and you can just come right back at it once you're better?
Man, my brother he introduced me to the world of drums. Mm-hmm. So it was a humbling thing. I was his servant at that moment. That was the best way I can serve him in his time of rest. I felt that nobody would do it like me. Nobody would honor him the way I would. And it would be my pleasure to go out there and play for my brother. I don't care where we go. I don't care if I don't have no rehearsals. I'm about to go out here and play these songs like my brother will play these songs. And I don't care where we go. I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm just gonna do it for him. And I don't know if he gonna wake up. I don't know if he gonna see me again, but I'm gonna play for my brother in every show. It's like, bro, this is for you. And every show, I try to kill it. I try to beat a hole in the drums. Every show. Some shows I didn't have sound. Some shows I didn't have sound to the end of the show. I'm just hearing, and I'm having to watch the person to my right move so I can keep time. Like I'm lose. I don't have any click. I don't have any metronome. I'm having to watch the person next to me do this. And if he would have got off, I would have been lost because I wouldn't have heard nothing. But I'm having to watch him do this so I can, to play.
Yes.
So it's just stuff, that kind of thing. But yeah, man, my brother, man, I would do anything, and it was an honor for me to do that for him, and I would do it in a heartbeat, anytime, every time, forever for him. He taught me drums. Like I wouldn't know the world of drums.
Yes.
I wouldn't know how to play. I wouldn't know, when I came. I'm sorry, I didn't share this. When I moved back to Mississippi, my 12th grade year, my brother had turned my room. They stayed at home, but I was alone my whole high school year. No brothers, right? I'm an only child for 3 years, right? But when I come home, I walk into my old room because we got to move back to the old life now. Now it's like, okay, I done saw different lifestyles, and now I got to come back to Mississippi, and then into my room. Like it's with no friends. Like I made friends and different stuff. Sometimes I done got popular. They got posters of me. I'm in the magazines. I'm on the news in a whole other state. And then I come back to Mississippi, had to start all the way back over again.
Yeah.
But I walk into my bedroom, that was my old bedroom. My brother had like 25 drums set up in my room. And I was like, oh my gosh. It made drums look like nothing. I didn't think about drums anymore after that. I mean, basketball. No more sports. After that, like, I didn't think about basketball because it kind of like said, hey, like, I don't know. It was just my old room full of drums, and he was in there just, and he was going ham. I was like, wow. That's my brother. That's why I would do anything every time for him. That's
so
why.
Amazing. I'm just curious to know, what was his teaching method or style of teaching to where you were able to adapt and learn so quickly? I know you had a natural talent, but like, you don't have to go into too much detail, but what genetically was like his style of teaching? I'm just curious.
I mean, we just have a brother and sister relationship, so he was just able to speak to me through the drums, and I was able to understand.
Wow.
Basically, he can play something and I will understand, or he would say, do it this way, and this, the way he would do it answer all my questions. Like I would know how to play for this song or this approach. It would just make sense for it was just like 20 questions answered in one.
Yeah.
So
that was a real smart way of answering that question. That was on point. I like it. Man, you are so fun to talk to. I know the viewers are really going in. I just want to shout out two people who really, like, they tapped in to your testimony about your brother and how you filled in. Two people right now. We got Dickie Myers, who said, I'm my brother's keeper. That is a perfect example. And then we have Dr. Virginia Jameson. She says, a debt of love I owe. That was powerful. A debt of love I owe. Wow, I had to say, normally I don't shout out comments, but geez, that was good, Dr. Jameson. All right, so
that's good. Bless you guys.
Story. Now, you're rolling with the crew. You're soaring in life. You're doing your thing. You're being an example. And guess what? There are other people that are watching you. They're going to catch the replay. If they didn't catch the real play, they're going to catch the replay of this, and they're going to be so inspired. But this is not all you do, right? This is not all you do. You have your own shoe brand.
Well, when the pandemic hit, after the pandemic, I kind of lost everything. And I wanted to quit drums again. So I went out and tried to find something. I was a fan of Master P and 50 Cent and how they have product and how they create product. And I'm like, well, I don't have any product. Like, I gotta. And so I'm looking up all these companies. Like, okay, cool. All these companies, they start off with product. Like Nike and Adidas, they start off with a shoe product. So I reached out to a friend of mine. And she said, hey, reach out to this company. They may help you because you're an artist and you're female, and you have a different idea. So you could design your own shoe. And so I designed my own shoe, and they accepted it. So I have my own shoe. So you can purchase a shoe whenever you like. It's Italian leather. It's made in Italy. So everything is real leather. Everything's leather inside out. So yeah.
I'm just gonna have to get me a pair. They're actually pretty dope. And too bad I don't have it here on display, but make sure you all follow her. I have it in the ticker at the bottom. Follow the Archus Curry on IG at HitGirl22. You gotta follow her. And she is so you will be able to know how you can get her shoes and how you can keep up with what's next. Is there anything else going on in your life that you want to share about right now, DR?
I mean, I have my single coming. I have a single out right now. We just put it in Archus. It's only one. DEARCUS. And iTunes. It's called "Sing It Out." It's just a general song of a person that I knew, and then when you have those emotions, you don't really know how to get them out. It's just a simple, just sing it out. It's the name of the song. So, it's just a simple get it out. If you don't mind downloading, that'll be lovely. And tell your friends to download it. That'll be great. I do have that, and I'm also working on my album. So, my solo project. Everybody's like, "When are you gonna do an album? When are you gonna do an album?" So, I'm working on my album as well. Hopefully, be done with it this year. So.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. So we're ready to wrap up. But before we shut down the show, this episode, is there anything in your heart that you want to share with the audience? Because this is the place where we talk about prevailing over adversity. We talk about where people are stuck and they feel like they can't reach beyond the breaking points of life. And, everybody has some type of goal, some type of dream, or some type of desire. But your life is an example of how you did it scared. You took the leap and you're soaring now. So what would you say to that person that's watching like, oh my gosh, my life sounds a little bit like hers and I wonder if I should go for it. What would you say to that person?
Let me say this. Give me like 5 minutes. Let me try to say this.
5 minutes, y'all.
This past year, 2019, I wanted to quit the third time. And it was so bad to where I was so low that I didn't want to play drums or music at all. I literally left that complete thing, and I went to try to invest in stock markets, try to real estate. I went all left field. And so I got to a point where I was at the lowest I've ever been ever. Where I was just asking God, what in the world? Where am I at? I'm doing like, I don't even know what I'm doing. What is happening? What is happening? He found me in a place. He said to me that if you alienate the gift that I've given you, that's alienating me.
Ooh.
So the darkness in my life, I brought on myself, for one, because I took the gift that he gave me and I set it aside because it didn't look like it used to, that was the first thing. Then he said, you're literally out here trying to kill yourself doing other jobs when I've already placed a gift inside of you. You have people every day working to do stuff you do. They practice every day. They got sticks in their hand. They walking around every day. They brrr. You don't even practice. You can sit down on a drum set and you feel my presence and you can play. And I can't even explain the experience that I have. I can't explain what you guys, have, but I wanted to quit. But he told me, if you give up on that, that's giving up on me.
Woo.
So I have a new appreciation for life. I have a new appreciation for my gift. If you know that God has given you something, even if it looks like you've lost everything, which I did. In 2019, before the pandemic, I lost everything. My jobs, all 5 streams of my income, boom. My relationship, church job, boom. House, boom, gone, everything, right?
Wow.
And that was like quit time. It was like, that's the reason why I initially wanted to go and do other things. So I didn't know how to process it. Like, God, how you just had me all the way up here? I just toured. I met Quincy Jones. I met my idols. I seen Anita Baker. I didn't know who Anita Baker was a year before, but now I'm seeing her last concert. I'm here with Shania Twain, Lizzo. We're doing concerts in Montreal. I see Sam Smith walking past me on the street, just eating a smoothie. And I'm like, this is stuff that's it's natural. This is life for me for like a year and a half. And then it stopped. Nothing happened. Like 11 years of me touring with T-Pain, with Keith Sweat, different other artists, and Janelle, and then that stopped. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. My mind was going, and I was steady.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, like, praying. I didn't want to hear nothing about God. I didn't want to hear nothing about none of that. Like, words weren't helping. I was hurting, and nobody could help me. I couldn't help myself. But God found me in my lowest place and told me, I already gave you a gift, something you already out here trying to do. So now my appreciation, and I hope I can help someone else. If you already know what your gift is, even if, financially or mentally, it doesn't seem like it's right, or you're alone. Cause that's one of my things, being alone in your gift.
Woo, girl.
That's been my struggle.
Wow. Because
you continue to grow and people leave, people fall off, people come back. But you keep moving, and it's a lonely thing. It's like you wait for that something to come to that can help you. But you're out here feeding so many people. You're feeding millions of people. I've been I'm sorry, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I've been in a stage.
We're no rush.
Let me tell you my most inspiring moment as a drummer. Recently, and when I first started, when I was with T-Pain, I was in Australia. And it was a dome full of people. It was like 50,000. It was packed, a dome packed with people. And we had 2 drummers. We had 18 dancers on stage, and T-Pain. They there to see him. After the show, and Neo was there. He performed before us. So we got bodyguards and everything. So it's barricades and everything. You can't even get backstage. I don't even know how this person got past the barricades. They get past the barricades. They tap me on my shoulder. They say, "Hey, excuse me. Man, I've been saving all my money up for this tour. I've been trying to see T-Pain for the longest time. It was the best thing I ever seen, but I could not even watch him. I watched you the entire hour and 30 minutes of the show." He said, "I watched your smile." I'm like, it blew my mind because I'm on a Megatron. You can't even see me. If you're in a dome, and Australia, the dome it's like it's people behind you, in front of you, like you're in a basketball court. If you're in the middle, like it's people everywhere. You look like ants compared to people way up there. So the only way you can see me is like on the screen, the Megatron screen. So you're having to see, and then the nosebleeds. They came from the nosebleeds, and it was so inspiring. So let me fast forward. This past year, when I just witnessed like wanting to quit again, I just started playing at this new church. And I have to say this, it's a predominantly white church, right? I'm literally the only Black person there. I had a little girl come to me, and she said, "Thank you for your gift." And she didn't know the week before I wanted to quit.
Wow.
She didn't know, what I'm saying? I'm sleeping in my car, my summertime, not having nowhere to live. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here fighting for my life, but I'm fighting for y'all, and I didn't even know I'm fighting for y'all. I didn't know what you guys experienced. So, and then the minister of music walks up. He said, "How you been, D?" I said, honestly, I wanted to quit. Then he starts crying. I'm like, what's up? He said, "I'm glad you didn't, because you inspired me." So I don't even know who I touch. You never know who you touch. You never know. I know you go through things in life. I know it's hard. I know it gets hard, but with your gift, you never know who you touch. Like, you never know. Like, and it bless these people forever. They think about you forever. Like, it's forever. And you over here, you just, what? And they blessed forever, like off of a gift that God has given you. So he gets the glory ultimately in the end anyway. Yeah. So, and that's just what it is. So that's how I'm gonna end it with that.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Look, I could be a crybaby sometimes, and I'm really holding back the tears because you went to the core. You literally got to the heart of the matter with your story, like for real, for real. And when you touch one person, the Archus, you don't just affect that person, because that person is eternally changed by the light that you just inspired in them. So now they get to go and inspire someone else. So
Right.
it has a everlasting effect. And somebody in the comments said, I'm here for it, and I'm here for it too. I'm interviewing you. I'm inspired.
Bless y'all.
Listen, as an author, I just feel like I need a book out of you. I
Yeah,
need
let's do it.
a book. That just
Yeah.
means anybody else catching those vibes. That's what I'm feeling. I need to see this in a book because this is powerful.
Now, I want to see it in a movie, honestly. I mean, I need Oprah or somebody to pick this up, Netflix or somebody,
All of it.
to play to tell my story. That'll be incredible.
Yes, 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 yes. Wow. All right. So, how can they get in contact with you? I know I have it on the ticker here, but I want to hear you say it. How can they follow you? How can they support you? How can they buy your shoes? How can they tell them how they can download your music? Anything you want them to do, give them the goods right now.
Oh, first of all, thank you all for being here. I appreciate the love and everybody who's tuning in. I have a single out that's called "Sing It Out." You can go to my Instagram, HitGirl22, and it's in the link. I also have another Instagram account for my business page called Music Gold, MUZKGLD, and that's where you'll find my shoes in that link. MUZKGLD. You'll find my shoes, live shoes in that link. And like I said, Hit Girl 22 is in my Sing It Out. That's on my Hit Girl 22 link. So, and then email if you want to contact me about work. DRarchusCurry@gmail. My brothers and I produce. My brother has a production company, so we all produce, we all write, we all play, we all sing. So anybody interested in music, interested in looking for new music, fresh music that's not what you hear out here, we got you. So, hit us up. Track and Field Productions. Hit us up.
Amazing. I love it. Oh my gosh. I'm going back to watch the replay on this one. You understand? I'm not playing. Okay, so I'm going to take you down. I want you to stay in the back studio, so don't go nowhere. All right.
Right.
This song. Oh my goodness. Like, you all need to know, this story was so incredible. I was truly inspired. I know some of you, if not all of you, were inspired. You definitely need to share this story. Don't be selfish with this story. If it inspired you, share. It's just that simple, because this is life-changing. And the stories that we have here on The Heart of the Matter, they are just simply that, the heart of the matter. Everybody has some type of adversity that they endure in life. And Archus, she just laid it out. She gave you the blueprint. She didn't hold anything back. So be inspired by her story. Thank you for tuning in. It really does my heart well to see, just all of the feedback, the positive feedback about the Heart of the Matter show. And I'm just very, very grateful for you all. All right. So until next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Heart of the Matter. If you would like to sponsor an episode or be a guest on the show, email theheartofthemattershow@gmail.com. We look forward to seeing you next Thursday for another amazing episode.